Well, we're back right here on Hala Kuwait, and I hope everyone out there is enjoying their evening. Right now we have with us Mr. Hamza Taqi, a well-known personality right here in the state of Kuwait, and master performance consultant with years of experience. Hamza, welcome to our program Hala Kuwait.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you.
The pleasure is all mine, my friend.
So this evening we're going to be talking a little bit about time management.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about that, an overview in general.
Yes. See, we need to understand that we cannot manage our time, but because it's 24 hours we have it. Everybody has the same 24 hours. No one has more, no one has less. So we need to manage ourselves actually to do the most important stuff that we need to do during the day.
Prioritize, huh?
Yeah, prioritizing is very important. So
okay,
you pick the major stuff to work on.
Okay, so tell us the importance of time management, because we were talking before we came on air, sometimes you feel overwhelmed.
Yes.
You may have 3, 4 things that you have to do, plus your work, and you're like, get nervous what to do, and you really then mismanage everything, correct?
It's very true, because you are stressed, because you think you have so many things to do, and so little time to accomplish them, and you wish you have more time to accomplish the things that you can do. So you get stressed. So the best way to do it is to organize yourself. For example, even have a journal, write everything that you need to do, and tick when you're done with it, because that gives you a sense of accomplishment. The other thing is that sometimes we focus on the urgent, but not necessarily important.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to differentiate between the important and urgent.
So tell us about some skills now, time management skills, please.
Well, there are many skills, like goal setting. Like you think of tomorrow, what are you going to do? You write down the stuff that you're going to do, and then you prioritize. You see which one is more, like the time that you give it, what sort of outcome you're going to get out of it. So you give it A, the less you give it B, and the less you give it C. So you start with the A's, and then with the B's, and with the C's. It's basically having a plan. If we don't have a plan, Dr. Tariq, we will not be able to have a sense of time. I mean, if I have a plan to get my PhD, for example, then I will focus my effort and my time to achieve that goal. But if I don't have a goal, I don't have a plan, then, and it works everywhere, even in the weekend. You ask me, what are you going to do in the weekend? I say, well, I don't have plan. You say, let's go fishing, and I will jump and I go with you. So I became part of your plan because I didn't have a plan.
Right.
You had a plan, so I jumped with your plan.
Is it true that maybe a lack of sleep can make you not manage your time correctly also? You feel tired, you can't really concentrate?
Part of it, doctor, because see, we need to manage the 24 hours we have. And usually we have, in average, we have 8 hours sleep, 8 hours work or study, school, and 8 hours for ourselves. So if you reach 100 years old, you'll be sleeping for 33 years old, 33 years. You'll be working for 33 years, and then you will be, having 33 years. And even that, what you have is, if you look at it, it's all time wasters. It's all on social media, on the mobile, on especially the smartphone is taking a lot of time.
So what are the major reasons that we struggle, Mr. Hamza, with the time management, and what can affect time management? Some of the things you just mentioned.
Yes, basically it's to know that you only have 24 hours, to know that you need to sleep at 10 and wake up at 5. So you have 8 hours good sleep with the proper timing. So you wake up in a healthy way. You
feel energetic
and you do your stuff. Especially if you have goals, especially if you have plans, especially you have to-do lists that you're gonna do. If you don't have that, you wake up wondering what are you gonna do, what's the first thing you're gonna do, and then you end up, surfing your smartphone. And then 2 hours gone or 3 hours gone.
Yeah, we need to try to avoid. How can we avoid this? The poor time management.
It's basically, see, there is it's your time, and it's your your way to accomplish your, let's say, vision or your message on this planet Earth. And we all have limited time. We don't know how long, but we know it's going to be a limited time. So what are you going to do to create a legacy for yourself? And when you think of that, you will be more focused on creating your legacy, especially if you feel that you're a guest here. And guests usually are polite, they're nice, and they know they'll walk in with nothing and they will walk out with nothing. So if you put in your mind that, you will
That's
be
a
more...
good perspective.
I believe so.
So tell us now, if someone never experiences or has good time management, will they be able to learn some skills of this, even if, as they're, let's say, older and they really have no skills in this? Can they pick it up?
They say you cannot teach an old dog new
Yes,
trick.
yes.
That's wrong. You know, we learn every time, and every age we learn, and we can teach. And any person who had the desire to learn the time management skills, they will be able to master their time.
What about parents? How can parents teach their kids time management skills, please?
Is by planning again. It's like, you know, you're planning a vacation. Put your kids within the plan. Tell them we're going to spend sometimes in the museum, sometimes in the theater, we're going to go watch this, and let them plan with you. So they understand the planning, they plan for themselves, and they know what they're going to do. I like, you know, some companies, they give you like a full year planner.
Yes.
That you put on the wall.
Yes.
You see the whole year, so you can...
This is good.
Absolutely, it's a good tool that you use. You have all the occasions are there.
Sure.
You can put,
So you can plan ahead.
You can plan your year. You
Yes.
can know when is Ramadan is coming and prepare for it from now.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be
Like
you know,
1 week before, yes, Ramadan is here.
For example, you
Yeah,
know.
that's one example.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. I mean, there's so many different examples.
Exactly.
So time management is very essential for everyone.
It is essential if you want to accomplish your desired goal, if you want to achieve in this world. It's very important that if you have a plan to achieve, to do, it's very important time. Time is more important than money, because money you can, you know, compensate, but the day that gone, you cannot
It's
compensate
gone, yeah.
it. Yeah.
What about teenagers? Teenagers tend to be sometimes a little confused and no sometimes grasping of time at all.
Yeah,
and
I
there's
don't know.
also, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a harmonic thing
Yes.
or you know, it's they are into, for example, more digital games, and so they immerse themselves for 2 hours, 3 hours watching a game or playing a game. Maybe that has to do, and the social media, of course. You know, all the social media, the smartphone, it takes a lot of our time.
And is it true, Mr. Hamza, that some cultures, it's just their cultural habits, they don't really have time management? That's, I think, true in some ways.
Yeah,
so,
and sometimes...
without getting into that specifically, but that is sometimes the common practice in some cultures. Time is not really important.
Yeah, they say, you know, whatever happens, you know.
We meet at 5, can be 7.
Yeah. And if you have like a class, they're supposed to be at 9. They start coming after 9, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't feel that.
So it's important to respect time,
of course,
respect appointments.
Of course. We had a very important actor in Kuwait who used to open the screen for the theater in time, 7. Even he says, if it's one person there, why should he suffer and wait for the rest?
When the time is 7.
Yes, time is 7, he will open the curtain and he will start performing. And now people started knowing that, so they go ahead of time before he opened the screen, because they understand that he's serious about time. Even we had a boss. Like if he says a meeting at 7, he would be there at 6:50 in the meeting room waiting, preparing and getting ready.
Yeah, that's a good example. When the boss does that,
all
the other ones will want to
follow.
follow.
It's like when you asked about parents, you know. If the parents are the role model for exercising good time management, then the kids will follow, I hope.
And can that be sometimes where they want to, you know, enforce time management, but there can be people that are rebellious against this? How to bring them into this?
Yeah, some people, they say, we don't have time to plan. We are working.
Leave us alone.
Yes, exactly. And Stephen Covey has a nice analogy on a story that 2 competing people on cutting the trees. So they had a saw. one person started cutting the tree, the other person, he was preparing and he was like sharpening his saw. And this guy was already cut 3 trees. This guy didn't start. So people were telling his friends, says, come on, you should start. And he says, no, relax, I'm sharpening. So by the time he reached 10 trees, that first guy, this guy has reached 6 trees and his saw is so sharp he was cutting. That's what planning is all about. If you have a plan, then you would put your time into that plan.
That's
and
true.
achieve it. Very
Very well said with that. And do you have any other bit of advice and last words for the audience watching right now about time management and how to better manage their time?
Can I give them a tool?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I want them to look up the life cycle. And the life cycle is like a wheel, and it has 10 components. For example, your health, your professional life, your learning, your society, your family. So, and then grade themselves from 0 to 10 in each element. And then they would see how their wheel is. So if the wheel is all, not like this, then it doesn't go very well. For example, at work, I am 10. But with the family, I am 5. Then I am not really doing, it's better to have 7-7.
Have a little balance.
Balance, where you take care of all your life cycle.
Yeah, that's a very important note. And as usual, we thank you very much for your expertise and valuable information for our audience watching Hala Kuwait. We'd like to thank you, Mr. Hamza, for your time.
I really appreciate having me, and thank you for your time and the audience as well.
Thank you so much for coming. We'd like to thank our distinguished guest, Mr. Hamza Taqi, Master Performance Consultant, for his time with us and valuable insight and information. Right now, we're going to move on to our next report dealing with Kuwait's heritage. Stay tuned.